It's kind of funny when you think about the 49ers and when we wring our hands in this business on shows like this one, when trades get made and draft picks are made and choices are made with draft picks, sometimes you trade draft picks to go up and move and select someone in the draft or in the trade deadline. You're saying that's too much to give up for this one individual. And then when that one individual does not perform well when you acquire them, you hear nothing but, did you forget about what they gave up for that player? I mean, we heard that about Trey Lance forever. Whoa, what the Niners gave up for him. It's insane what they gave up for a guy who they eventually trade away for a fifth-round selection. And then when the Niners go ahead and trade for Christian McCaffrey in the middle of last season, a guy who's got all the talent in the world but trouble staying healthy, did you see what they gave up for him? Today, on this Monday, leading into Christmas week, 2023. Do you hear anybody talking about what the Niners gave up for Christian McCaffrey or to draft Trey Lance? Zero. Full Blutarski. 0.0. Nobody's talking about him. Because Brock Purdy is dominating and Christian McCaffrey is dominating. And on Sunday, they did it again. Second 4-touchdown performance in the last 3 weeks for the Santa Clara game manager. And Christian McCaffrey going totally nuts. 3 touchdowns, 1 rush, 2 receiving. Oh, and, Debo's starting to come around as well. And Kittle's coming around. And Ayuk's doing his thing, and Juszczyk is getting involved, and Trent Williams is blocking people. And defensively, they are crushing with pick sixes of Kyler Murray, and Nick Bosa's coming for you too. The best team in football, without a doubt. And McCaffrey is unbelievable and worthy of MVP talk if the MVP was truly about all players. And I bet all the nonsense you're hearing right now is how the Dolphins proved Tyreek Hill isn't their most valuable player because they smoked the Jets without him, as opposed to talking about how smart they were to rest him against the Jets. And they just bought a week of time and made things even more must-have for Tyreek Hill over the final 3 weeks as he wants to break the 2,000-yard mark. But we're not talking about that move by Mike McDaniel. And at the moment, what we're talking about is the 49ers being the best team in football, and everybody else has to be on their A++ game. You can't turn it over against them. You can't settle for field goals against them. You can't miss on that third down opportunity against them. You can't go for it on fourth and miss it against them because they are so good. They will take that mistake and just jump on it and shove it down your throat. And they're hungry. I bet you the George Kittle we're going to see in about 15 minutes' time, even though he will be his usual, I'll use the word, avuncular self.
Oh, big word alert. We caught him. NFL Films cameras caught him on the bench when he was losing to the Chiefs at the Super Bowl saying, we are going to get back here, and he is yet to get back here. And it sure looks like nobody's going to be able to stand in their way on the NFC side of things to prevent that from happening. Can it happen? Of course it can, any given Sunday. Can the Cowboys play the game of their lives? The Eagles play the game of their lives? The Lions play the game of their lives? Anybody else that might see the 49ers before either of those teams? Can they play the game of their lives? Absolutely. Will they have to play the game of their lives to win it? You bet they will. That 3-game losing streak, this team lost to P.J. Walker. Come on. Unbelievable how that happened.
Seems like forever
right?
ago.
They had a 3-game losing streak, and that might be something that they build on. And as we're watching them go and talking about, is that something that helped steel themselves for the long run? And is that a turning point of the season? That's for later on. For the moment, though, we're talking about who's the MVP of this team. Brock Purdy himself gave the vote to number 23 after the game yesterday.
Brock, you just gave a great description of Christian and what he means to the team. What's your case for him to be MVP?
Dude, I think Christian should be MVP. I really do believe that. You know, he does everything for us, runs the ball well, can catch the ball. He does everything. And so, in my eyes, that's an MVP.
What do you think when your name's in that conversation?
I mean, I'm honored. But, man, I think, you know, I have a great team, around me and guys willing to make plays and stuff. So I'm trying to do my part and help our team win. And I'm very honored to hear it. But I think we just have an MVP team overall.
So is McCaffrey the MVP of this team? You could absolutely make that case.
Probably. And
if he's the MVP of this team, then he should be the MVP of the league. And we're wondering if maybe there'll be split votes because it's usually a quarterback award. And here's the thing: is that Purdy is absolutely worthy of an MVP vote this year as well. And folks cannot handle it. I tweet about him, and the stuff I get back from me being bald and fat and stupid. Other than that, is he's just rolling the footballs out. And Cam Newton only lent to that narrative with his take last week that went a ton of places because he's a former MVP talking about quarterbacking. And as he pointed out in his highly edited 9-minute response, he knows more about quarterbacking than most because he's Cam friggin' Newton. And I totally understand that. But this guy isn't just rolling the footballs out. Oh, the number of times. Oh, he's just checking it down. Oh, is that right? McCaffrey was wide open down the sideline that he found him on, and people will say, well, that's McCaffrey. He's wide open. There was a terrible defense, so he should be able to make that throw. The only reason why he was able to make that throw is because with a rush in his face, he pirouetted, spinoramaed out to his left against the grain and stopped and made a throw. He makes throws that a lot of people don't think the final pick of an NFL draft should make. And everybody still uses his final pick of the draft status to think he can't do it. And I'm only bringing it up here because everybody looks at this kid and thinks he's just rolling it out. And you know what? I think at the end of the day, that ignorance, which is the only word for it, I'll say it, that ignorance is only going to be used as fuel. Because I think, again, I don't know him. He's only been on the show once, and I've met him once, and he's got a whole aw shucks personality. I think he is a killer. Because that's the way he's playing. I've called him Bambi with fangs. And, you know, and what plays into this as well, the broadcast yesterday, I don't know if you guys were watching it because it was going up against the Bills and the Cowboys. They showed, because, you know, he's from Arizona. So this was a big homecoming for him. And so they showed him growing up, pictures of him as a kid. And then he was honored on the field when he was a young ball player before going to Iowa State. And he looked the same. I'm serious. Like the picture of him, if they had just not said this was him as a young kid being honored on the field in Arizona with his family, I would have thought it was taken pregame. I swear to you. And everybody thinks just because he looks so young and he looks like a child that he's not a man coming for you. And by the way, utilizing the weapons that he is so fortunate to have. So yeah, like if, say, Zach Wilson was there or Mac Jones was there, example, would both of them be having better careers? Yes. Would they be as good as Brock Purdy? We'll never know. But the bottom line is Brock Purdy has gotten the opportunity, and he has knocked on the door and not only blown it open, but has taken ownership of the house. He's paid off the Niners' mortgage, and it is his house. And he has yet to act like he should put up his feet in it. It looks like he's asking if he should still take his shoes off when walking into the house. Wait till he has
the attitude of this is me and my place. Holy cow, you better get him now. That's the way I think of when I watch him play. And McCaffrey is dominant, and Kittle's dominant, and the rest of them are dominant. And good luck to everyone else.